Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, we're going to look a little bit at Trump's finances tonight on this reading. Trump just recently had his New York civil trial go before the appeals court. I did a reading on that last night. It went up this morning, and in the reading, I was given like a 20% chance that maybe. There was a vibe I was getting that they might send the case back or say there was too much money that was awarded. And in the end, I didn't think they would change anything. But there's that feeling like, they lowered his bond. Are they going to lower this ruling as well? They're going to kind of look for things. I think Trump's got a couple of allies on that on that appeals court. And when the appeals court heard the arguments today, they were interrupting the New York's attorney that was discussing why the money was why the case was legitimate and the money amount was accurate, which is kind of signaling that they're trying to figure out a way to reduce Trump's liability. That doesn't mean they will succeed. It looks like there's a couple people on there that are questioning things. The problem that they're going to run into is that the law as written is very broad, and it gives the Attorney General wide-ranging powers. And they're trying to say, well, in the cases you've cited before, there was consumer fraud in there, and we're not seeing that with this. Yeah, so? Yeah, so? That doesn't mean you get to cut down the value. You have to do a little bit more than just say it's not apples to apples. That's true. It's not. So what are you going to do about it? How are you going to justify cutting it down? Because they would have to justify it. They may try. They may succeed a little bit, but you've got it's going to be the majority of the court that's going to rule on things. So we'll see how that goes. So there's some money things in flux. Additionally, there's a story about United Atlantic Ventures, LLC, which owned 11 million shares of Trump media stock. Now, this LLC was formed by two former Apprentice contestants, Andrew Latinsky and Wes Moss. They were the ones who originally pitched to Trump about him opening up his own social media platform. And they did all the heavy lifting early on, and then Trump, in true Trump fashion, tried to screw them out of their shares because it's his company, so he should have all the shares. That's kind of how he thinks. He's got that 3-year-old mentality. So there was litigation around this. These two investors won their litigation, and part of the judgment was there was going to be another entity. Let's see, that was its name was Odyssey. Odyssey Transfer and Trust Company. Not only in the ruling, on the September 6th ruling by a federal judge that ruled in the Apprentice members' favor, they also ruled against a transfer agent called Odyssey Transfer and Trust Company. And it barred Odyssey from interfering with the transfer of UAV's Trump media shares to UAV when the lockup period expired. Odyssey had early indicated before the ruling it takes directions from Trump Media on the transfer of the share, and Trump Media had refused to say if it was going to allow Odyssey to remove the transfer restrictions. In other words, they were going to try and lock up these guys' shares so they couldn't liquidate it. The court said, no, you can't do that. So they sold their 11 million shares a few days ago, and the stock price has been between $12 and $14 a share. So they probably made about $150 million total for their LLC. Trump said he wasn't going to sell his shares, and there's no indication that he or any other insider has sold their shares, but these guys got out while the getting was good. Further, after Melania is out there saying, people are really struggling financially and having a hard time making ends meet, like she would know, Donald Trump's out there hawking Trump watches. Kid you not. The fight watch. This guy is so uncreative. For somebody who bills himself as a master marketer, he's horrific at it. Fight watch is the $500. That's the least expensive watch. And then he's got watches that are gold, and they've got like a bunch of diamonds in the bezel and stuff like that. And they're going of upwards of $100,000. My brother was looking at this and said there's small print in there saying that none of this money is going to his reelection fund. This is just pure grift. Trump steaks, Trump water, Trump airlines, Trump hotel, Trump gambling casinos, etc., etc., etc. Trump crypto, Trump Bibles, Trump sneakers. What else does this guy put his name on? You just slap his name on and sell it. So I want to look at his money. There's a lot of money stuff going on here. He's got lawsuits. He's hawking watches. His former apprentice contestants have won their lawsuits and they're getting money. As let's look at the money situation with Donald Trump and then look to see if as this money spins away from him, is his power also spinning away? That money is like energy to him. So let's look at Donald Trump and money. Entertainment purposes only. My deck is upside down. And we've got the moon card as the foundation of the reading. I think what this is telling me is moon's about an eclipse, and about the truth being obscured but being revealed. More and more, I think we're going to find out more and more about Donald Trump's finances and how wealthy he is not. Again, he owns like 150 million shares of Donald Trump stock that's at $13 a share right now as I record this on Thursday night. What's the date today? The 26th. Looking at the very small print on the bottom of my computer. And even as he descends into madness, there's things going on here. There's changes coming here. King of Cups. Yeah, and Donald Trump loves money more than anything else is the thing. And his emotions are getting crazier. It's reminding me of Elon Musk. Underneath this temperance, there's a rebalancing, a recalibrating of his emotions, of his money, of his influence, and it's related maybe to his mental illness and his inability to control his emotions. Where I was going with that is Elon Musk. Like Trump, Elon Musk, everything he did seemed to always work out. And he's a genius and he's a visionary and he's this, that, and the other thing. He's just an opportunist who happened to be in the right place at the right time for a few things, and he made a bunch of money. And now he's got a cult, the Tesla fanboys. Elon can do no wrong in their eyes. But, Elon's also batch crazy too, for entertainment purposes only. I'm not a doctor or a psychiatrist, and I don't think any one of them has seen Elon and evaluated on his mental health. But he says and does some stuff that doesn't make any sense. Some of it makes sense if you consider him to be a useful idiot for the Russians. Otherwise, or he wants to be an oligarch in the United States. Just lost the cat. It was a black cat video. He was sitting right there. But I think as Donald Trump loses control of his emotions and his sanity, I think the money is going to go down with it. In the past, the Knight of Cups. Yeah, Donald Trump, quote-unquote, successful businessman. But, kind of everything would just always work out for the guy. It's really frustrating. Current situation, though, is the Nine of Wands. Things don't work out for him anymore. Things are actually really bad for him right now. Like he's suffering from a head injury, and more stuff is coming down the pike. You can look at Donald J. Trump stock at one point, not so long ago, was $70 a share. And it's been as low as the low 12s. And he's trying to stay out of prison. He's trying to run for election. And his, with the head damage here, the injury to this guy's head, he might be a little bit crazy, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs out there. But it doesn't stop him from trying to make money. He is always trying to make money, whether it's political grifting or hawking Trump watches. The guy is always out there trying to make a buck, hustling the whole time. The lesson to be learned is the three of coins. He's out front making money for everybody to see, but there's also the deals going on behind the scenes. So it's funny, he's hawking all this money up front, like these watches. People will buy them, not because they want the damn watch, but it's their way of bribing Trump. They'll just do you a favor. I'll tell you what, Donald. I'll buy one of your $100,000 watches, one in each color, each face. I want different. I want the rose gold and the 18 karat yellow gold. I want the gold face, the black face, and the rose colored face. I want 6 watches like that. Here's $600,000. So that's like a way to get around the campaign donation limits, is by buying his stupid watches. Out comes the Four of Wands. He will keep this up to Election Day and beyond. And he's always looking for new opportunities to get that. Again, we're looking at his mental and emotional health declining here, but he's going to keep doing it until he can't do it anymore. It could be that his court cases get to the point that he doesn't have the energy to approve these things, but it can also just be realize people are starting to walk away from Donald Trump. He's not a winner, and the MAGA folks aren't going to be treating him like a winner. $500 watches? Yeah, Melania might be right. His base have already given him a lot of money, and they might be struggling. Things might not be really good for them financially. They can't even afford a $500 watch. Talk about an absolute luxury $500 watch. And that's really not a lot of money for a fancy dress watch. It really isn't. One of my guilty pleasures for a few months there was watching people sell Rolexes, and it was a TikTok video, and this guy's walking around the watch in New York, where they like 42nd Street, whatever it is, where they sell all these watches, and he's going around checking out watches, and he has buyers for them, and they're haggling and trading watches and things along those lines. All these guys know each other, and it's really entertaining. And I remember one of the comments, it's like, I know I've been watching this channel too long. When I look at that watch and he says it's $20,000, and I go, yeah, that's a pretty good price for that, or that's not so bad. You just get numb to the prices of these things. They're mostly Rolexes, some Cartiers and things along those lines. But yeah, the average Trumper can't afford that. So it's got to be people with money that can afford that. Okay, so we're looking at Trump and his money. It looks like there's some emotional problems that he's still going to keep going. It in some ways, hawking things grounds him. It's like, all right, it gives him something to look forward to. What were the sales numbers on the watches today? And that doesn't mean they're going to tell him the truth. Oh, sales are great, boss. We'll get you the numbers soon. All right, looking forward to it. And then they never send him the numbers. Where are those numbers? Oh, we're going to get right on this. Okay. Let's look at the link between Trump's physical health and his financial health. I think that's another one to look at here. Physical health, financial health, Donald Trump. Not good. His physical health, and again, swords are about intellect. His mental health, I think, is going down. His actual intellect. So this could be dementia or something like that. There's a family history, and it's slowly taking him down, which means that his financial health is probably going to follow suit. Crossed with the Fool card. It's going to be something new and different. Or is it just foolish behavior? Walking right off the cliff. I don't think Trump takes care of himself. I know. Stop the presses. We have to change the title of the article today. Trump doesn't take care of himself. He doesn't care. He's not intellectually curious, and he doesn't really take care of his health. He's been fine. I don't need to do anything different. Doesn't matter, he's walking right off the cliff. He's doing it to himself. Underneath his Queen of Pentacles, he doesn't have Melania there to take care of his health. And apparently he doesn't have Laura Loomer there anymore to take care of his health. So there's nobody taking care of his health or minding his wealth. In the past, we got the Death card. Things coming to an end. Yeah. This is the end of his healthy days. Those are behind him. We may not hear about his health events, but he's having health events. And it's the end of his wealthy days. Yeah, he's got a payout with DJT stock, but he hasn't cashed in on that yet. And if he ever does cash in on it, then that stock is going to be worthless. And a lot of people are going to be out of a lot of money. But Trump won't care. High Priestess is the current situation. Yeah, he's got some. I think he's got things going on with his brain. Intellect. He can't make good. This is good decisions. He can't make good decisions. He doesn't make good decisions about his health. He doesn't make good decisions about his wealth. But money is all he cares about. More money. I need more money. I need more money. It's like the gold coins are his wall that he's building up around him to protect him. And I guess it is, because that's what pays his lawyers to keep him out. Lesson to be learned. Note how does his health and wealth excuse me. How does health and wealth interact? With that 9 of coins. Remember, coins are about health and they're about wealth. Right now, the presence, the image he's giving is that his health and his wealth are fine. But he's manifesting stuff. He's manifesting his own end. His own demise here with his bad choices. Outcome is the 6 of Swords. Now it's going to be a race. Is his mental faculties going to run away, or is he going to run away? But either way, the only time that his health and wealth stabilize is when he gets out of the turmoil. And right now he's hip deep in turmoil. He's got all sorts of court cases that had been delayed, but they haven't gone away. He needs to win the election for these things to go away. He's not going to win the election. He can either try and flee the country, and he may not have, he may have wealth hidden, but you can imagine that if Donald Trump fled the country and he still owned DJT shares, they're going to lock him up. They'll put sanctions on him like they did Russian oligarchs. They will freeze his money, and he won't have access to it. He'll only have access to Swiss bank accounts or bank accounts in the Seychelles. And then you can imagine that U.S. intelligence will be monitoring those and looking for, and maybe they already have boots on the ground for human intelligence, so they have an idea of where his money is. There's a good question. Do the intelligence agencies know where Donald Trump has hidden his money? You see him getting Eric and Don Jr. to dig up Ivana at night. Got to get those gold bars out of her coffin there. Do the intelligence agencies know where Donald Trump is hiding his money? King of Swords, they're on it. Strength card, I think they've 6 of Swords. Yeah, they're kind of ready for him. What do we have? This card often represents my Jack Smith card. Waiting for things to happen. Just watching, waiting for the moves. I think they're almost expecting him to flee. Do they know about his money? I just want to say that they're looking at... They may not have found everything. They're still looking. Or they're still waiting and monitoring to see how things go. But I do think that they have leads on it that they're following up. They're definitely going to follow up. And I think also this might be answering, if Trump leaves, yeah, they're going to lock things up. We're going to lock things up. We're going to make it a point on our end to freeze your finances if you leave the country. We may not be able to get them all, but we'll get a lot of them. No, Trump will still have millions, mind you, but he won't have access to all his money, and then there's going to be the property seizures and stuff. Again, like what they're doing with the Russian oligarchs with the Ukraine war. They start looking for their yachts, their super yachts, and then confiscating them. That type of thing. He's going to be treated like a Russian oligarch if he tries to flee the country. Lastly, speaking of Russian oligarchs, describe some of the shenanigans for those people who end up buying $100,000 watches. Is this really just another money laundering? Might be one way to put it. Is this just another way to buy influence with Trump? Because that seems to me the only people that could afford those. There's no investor that would spend $100,000 on this watch. Telling you that right now, none. You spend $100,000 on a Rolex because they have a history, they have a legacy, they have a following, and people want Rolexes and they want premium watches to show up. We're talking, really, really wealthy people would be doing stuff like that if they could drop $100,000 on a watch. And for us, $100 might be like for us $100 on a watch. So they have 1,000 times as much money as you do. If you're a millionaire, they're a billionaire. You got to get the sense of scale here. Okay, so who's buying these $100,000 watches? People that are looking for favors later on. Three of Wands, Knight of Swords. They're going to, believe it or not, I'm sure we'll get information about them buying those watches, snapping them up quickly. Yeah, we're going to hear about people, going out there buying watches. They're going to talk about these watches. Yeah, and you're going to hear about it. They're going to talk about people say, oh, well, I think there'll be collector's items. This is going to be something that's going to be worth more money. And we'll see what the market shows for us later on. But that's not it. What they really want is favors in the future here. Will come a-calling for those favors. The funny thing is they have to wait on those favors because they have to wait for Donald Trump to be elected. If he's not elected, that's money wasted. But, you got to take a chance. Spending $500,000 on watches gets you some prime trade deals as a member of Qatar's Financial, or who knows. It's all money and corruption. Big money, big corruption. And $100,000 watch is, that's a white elephant gift they give each other at Christmas. Or Kwanzaa, or whatever they happen to be celebrating at the time. We'll leave it here. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Feel free not to get me a Trump watch. I really don't wear watches. I've got my phone for that. It acts as a perfectly fine watch. This reading, it was meant for entertainment purposes only. I hope you were entertained by it. But despite that, I do try my best to ask a question, throw tarot cards, interpret those tarot cards, put together a story that makes sense with the cards that are out there, trusting my intuition side to give you kind of background of what's going on. Again, for entertainment purposes only. Have a good night. I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.